Appreciate you for tuning in to the Theory Expo. If you enjoy the content we're doing, please like and subscribe. And on that note, let's get to it.
There it is. Man, look at this. Look at that. We want to talk about raising the bar, man.
You go rock with it.
Raising the bar, man. This Andor show, this episode, The Eye, man. This seemed like this is like almost a midway point episode, I feel like, where we kind of close out a story arc.
Yeah, like another mini series.
It's the heist. You know what I mean?
It's like we had two mini series, right? We had the first one that was the home planet, Ferrix, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the second one was about the heist.
You rock this one out.
No. I'm just saying, to your point, the second one was the second kind of mini series was all about this heist.
No, but go ahead. You carry this one. Yeah, you got this.
It was all about this Aldani heist. So then we got to the point from episode 4 where Andor joins the team, right? Andor joins the team. No one, and there's evident. There's a couple people that's with it, but was only one person that's with it. My man, Minix, the little young boy. But rest of the team, they've been so deep in trying to get ready. They don't trust anyone. Nash don't trust him, but he shows. So we get that he gets to working with the team. We working on that, and we see some things with the Empire. We see a lot of Mon Mothma's family and what's going to lead her. So we getting through that. Lutheran with his shop. We get to episode 5, which is like the bridge episode. And even though didn't much happen, it was so tense, right? But everything was about setting up this heist. We get to episode 6. We get TIE fighters and everything, but it was about the heist. We get to episode 6. Now we in action, right? Now we in action. We done started off and show this pic right here. We done started off. Yeah. These boys. We found out the brother on the left. My guy. Was a former stormtrooper.
Yep.
Was a former stormtrooper who done left, right?
Which ain't, it's not like a compliment.
Yeah, definitely not a compliment. But he militant.
Yeah.
He militant, right? He real soul. He real about he really about that. Everybody training, they getting their steps together. They doing this. We found out that the was the corporal or the commander on the Empire side or the Empire side. He's their mole inside, right? Because he's ready to go against the rebels. So they get to the point. They done suited up. I thought one really dope scene, I couldn't get a good picture of it, was when they was in that water. So the females dipped off on their own side, right?
Yes.
And it was so like the Jedi Order.
I was trying to see if they used those things. Yeah,
I felt like they had those
in episode 1.
Yeah,
but I
felt like I saw them do that. They went into the water, and when they was in that, they did the up from up down bottom shot, and you see the comets going past, and like they going through the water. I was like, golly! But then when they dipped under and had to swim over, I said, damn, this is Jedi Order all day when you be in the water.
That felt like Star Wars right there.
So they're getting set up, but we don't really. At this point in time, I don't really know what they're ultimately trying to do. I felt like we were getting set up for one of them to kind of flip. Like, what is a little side mission? Like, this don't really seem, and even Andor won't. But we, like I said, we getting through the, and they finally get into that building, right? They get in, they ready to do work. But now I'm lying. They didn't finally get into the building. They was ready for the go ahead, and old girl was nervous. Vale, remember she was sitting up top?
Yeah.
And they do that jump.
She kind of froze up a little bit, kind of clamped up.
Froze up, man. But when they got in, and at this point in time, which was like great for this show and great for what they're doing, they was holding hostages. So we seeing like the rebels, they taking hostages. Like, we're not getting this whole good guy versus bad guy thing. We getting humans against humans. Because this part of the Empire, we're seeing humans. We're not seeing we seeing caterers in the Empire, right? Like
they're not even. That's what I'm saying. That's what we got. This word to Gilroy. This is what they kind of hinted towards this in Rogue One, where it's like, hey man, we ain't necessarily doing this to be heroes.
Yes,
we don't even care if you think we right or wrong. We trying to win, bro. We don't like the regime that we under right now. They're rebels.
We rebels.
You know what I mean? It's not heroes. No. It's not good guy, bad guy. We rebels.
We rebelling against something, but that don't always mean that I'm a good guy doing it.
Yeah, I can do bad. I'll take hostage if need be. If family's getting away, to hell with them.
Because when they snatched up and they was like holding the boy hostage and all this and all that, I'm like,
yeah, man,
this ain't very Star Warsian.
They was about it. It's about it, bro.
And then when the because they had the engineer that was visiting ended up being just a regular guy, wasn't like an Easter egg. Like, oh, that might be Krennic, that might be it was a regular dude, right? Regular Imperial engineer. he talking that noise. The what's her name? I think the Indian, Middle Eastern, something like that, female.
Name right.
I can't remember her name, but the healer, the one that healed up, she come through and just shoot the guy on sight.
Blasted that one.
So now she got a body. I think she's an Aldani. I think she is an Aldani. Right? That's just me.
You think she's an Aldani?
I think she's an Aldani. I think she's from that land.
Damn.
I think Vale met her there. I don't know this. I'm just saying. I think Vale met her there when they started that. When they started that run, she got recruited.
Oh, okay.
Or she was maybe their recruit on land already.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right.
She from that planet. I
think she's from the planet because you know she didn't leave at the end. But I say all that to say, just moving forward, we get to the point. We got all these things happening. They taking hostages. They got one of the scumbag or the. They got because they need the main was he a lieutenant, captain, whatever. Her name is Cinta. Her name was Cinta. But when they need that guy's hand so they can get into the vault. The whole thing is getting into the vault. Everything's going swimming with them having his kids, and they saw, and then him seeing them take Merc the engineer that they're willing to do anything. He gave him the hand. They get down to the vault. Everything going smooth. They able to get that the lieutenant guy got them he had the most skeleton crew, and he knew he had a crew that wasn't really ready to fight. He had a crew that was gonna be lazy playing where they playing the game Han Solo and they'll be playing on the
Sabak.
Yeah, they was playing Sabak.
Yeah.
Now they got them putting all of the credits on the ship. Now I got anxiety at this point in time because I'm like, there's no way they getting all that, right? It's like there's no way they getting all that. I had this picture sent up. This is when she pulled up.
Look at that.
When she pulled up. But when they got through and they was trying to get that money onto the ship, I'm like, there's no way they getting all that money, right? And then the one radio guy shows up, like, because he the one that figured out, because they had to keep the one channel open. They jammed all the comms, but they had to have the one channel open, the Aldani channel, right? So they can talk to each other or whatever it was. But it was the reason they had to keep the one channel. He tapped into that. He show up. Now he getting, I'm gonna show this, getting everybody ready because he hearing about the vault. Now we get to see how they get into the TIE fighters. That's been the thing. It was so dope, man, when they got in. Like, that wasn't a detail that I know I needed, but I needed that.
I'll just say that.
Oh yeah, the TIE fighter. How they had to get in. Man, they get in, and then now because he done brought his team, and now it's going down. Now the shoot, they done instantly shot the lieutenant, whatever his name was. He probably was more than lieutenant, but this is where it goes sideways, right? This is where it goes sideways.
He was more than a lieutenant because the black dude was
lieutenant, the black dude was a lieutenant. Gorn, his name was Gorn. Gorn gets shot.
The mole was a lieutenant.
Yeah. Gorn gets shot, right? And
so
he gets shot. Now they got to protect each other. The stormtrooper trying to go to get the Val, he gets shot. He's out, right? He's out.
Both brothers.
Two brothers out, right? Instantly, right?
Man.
Andor done got into the ship. He done got the chokehold put on him because one of the little soldiers was able to sneak in and get him. He choking him up. But right before that happened, little man, what's his name? Krennic. What a little young boy. When he said this line, I'll be up there shortly, or I'll meet you in a minute.
Done.
I knew he was dead.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to get shot there. Like, that's the famous line before it's over.
You go ahead of me.
Yeah, you go ahead. I'll catch up.
I mean, you're not going to make it.
You're not going to
make
it.
You either going to sacrifice yourself or you about to get murked out.
He tapped the guy that had, he shot the guy that had Andor in the chokehold. I'm like, oh, damn, he really is going to make it. So they was able to actually get off. So now what's remaining is Andor, Vale, Skeen, and the young. They get in the plane, that thing take off. We get that beautiful shot.
Oh my God.
It was like they was going through the eye.
Oh, this shit, man.
When they was going through the eye. That
reminded me of Cloud City right there, bro.
They was going through that. Yeah. So they rolling. The TIE fighters trying to get in. TIE fighters can't make it through. They keep getting hit. They keep getting taken out like they had it planned. They keep getting taken out by the little small comets or whatever those things were. TIE fighters getting taken out. They use one Easter egg because Krennic, at this point, when they take off, the credits come back and crush a young boy. Right? They crush him, little young boy. But they need the young boy because he's the brains of, like, he knows all the technical stuff. He knows.
They
need him for the spine. But the credits,
crush him, right? Because it's like dense metal, like it's it's like
they got 80 million of them things, so they had to give him they gave him a little shot, but he was able to hang on long enough to tell him to climb, like my man K2SO climb. So he got up out. That's exactly when K2SO died, or whatever you call it when it happens to a droid. But they was able to get away, but they decided to stop at a dock. See if I got a little. They had to stop at a dock. A little quick pick of the getaway. You see Skeen, Vale, and Andor, but they stop at this dock. Looking like Maz Kanata.
Very similar species, right? I think it is the species. And I like how they did a live action, bro. They didn't revert. They didn't do they did the practical effects. They didn't do a CG character like
they had probably just had somebody behind them with the extra arms.
Yeah, literally they had somebody working those arms. Yeah, this practical effects, good stuff.
Yeah, it looked real. So, but he don't make it, right? But right before that, when they sitting outside, that's when your man Skeen was like, "Hey man, look, you and I we should go ahead and just take it's $80 million in there. You get 40, I'll get 40, right? We not, you know us. We not really. I thought you was a rebel. Like, look, man, I'm just trying to win, right?
He said it's me against everybody. He said,
me against everybody. Yeah, that's right. He said me against everybody. He said, what about your brother? I have
no what. I never had him.
So
he's a scoundrel.
Yes.
Something that's common in Star Wars. That's one of the roles. That's one of the mainstays in Star Wars. Scoundrels and bounty hunters and shit. He's one of them. But go ahead.
Andor, go ahead. He shoots first.
Yo, bro.
Because he know what that means. Like if we you gonna take us all out. Bro, but I'm giving him. Maybe I'll be even giving him credit. He heard something he didn't like and he shot first.
I don't even think he let dude pull. Did he even reach?
Close, not even close. Because he needed Andor to even nothing. He was just sitting there. He was just talking.
Shit, man.
He went on ahead and just took him out, which makes me really believe. When I thought about the first episode, I thought that might have been Cassian's first body, but now I'm fully convinced that's not.
Nah, it was not his first body, bro.
That is not his first body. He got bodies.
Cold-blooded murderer, bro.
Yeah. He's a murderer.
He's a murderer.
He's a killer.
He a killer.
Like that's not his first body.
Nah.
The way he shot him.
Nah, he got bodies, bro.
Like he wasn't, because dude wasn't a threat. He wasn't gonna be a threat until if they ran off. Now, obviously, if they ran off and flew with some plan, and as soon as they parked, he was gonna lose his life. I mean, Cassian, that guy was gonna get that 80. He wasn't gonna split.
Cassian wasn't taking no chances, bro. He was like,
took him out of there. He go back in, gun raised up on Vale, so you know what Vale think? Like, oh man, you POS. Like.
I guess, yeah.
He was like, no, he was going to get y'all.
It was your boy.
Yeah. And she didn't really believe him until he gave her back the Kyber crystal that Lutheran had gave him as a down payment. Give me my 30,000, let me get up out of here. You go do that. She give him a manna. She give him a manifest, because that little manifest that the young boy had been putting together, which, that's already kind of a thing. We thinking is that going to be kind of the rebellion, the first Bible of the rebellion kind of deal, right? Like they going to hold near and dear to heart. Is that going to have an impact on Cassian's life or whatever? But he keep it. He take it.
Great point.
He take it. And then we cut to the scene where we see my guy Lutheran in his shop.
Oh man,
news starting to spread.
He can't be more happy.
They come back, some guy in the shop like, man, you got any Aldanian artifacts? Hey man, Lutheran think it's over. When that guy said that, that might have been something like, you got any Aldanian, because we know you were involved. He nah. He's just like, the guy was like, it's probably gonna go up in value because all this news has happened. Hey man, Lutheran walked to the back. Let me go check. Guy was like, I'm just playing, but Lutheran, he laughed and let out a sigh of relief, they really did it.
Yeah,
they really did it. But then we kind of end on what my favorite scene in the movie. Don't get me wrong, but I'm fascinated by this because of Coruscant.
Very fascinating.
I'm fascinated by Coruscant.
Yeah. They
go back in. Mothma trying to just talk about them Gormans again, right? Because that's a big deal, right, for her. That's ultimately why she denounces the Emperor again. Has to get that speech in Rebels. That was a big deal, like the massacre or the slaughter in Gormans. Well, she just talking on the plight of the Gormans here, but there was no one in there. That was an empty Senate. And
I got the sense, and we talked about this through text. I just get the sense that it's for the optics. It's not really anything. It's all just like, hey man, we really don't, because that's the first thing they doing in A New Hope. It's like he'd be like, Tarkin come in like, man, it's over. Like, what you mean? Hey man, we did away with the Senate. Ain't no more Senate. Or ain't no more. We ain't doing that no more. You know what I mean? We done with that. I feel like that's what I got from that. I'm not sure if that's exactly what they were going for, but I just got that feeling like they kind of just telling you like, man, there's nobody.
Yeah, 100%. And they more worried about the news. Everybody got the iPads out, whatever they had in the galaxy.
Aldani,
all the news is about that Aldani heist, because the Emperor, that actually wasn't the last scene, but we get to see that the Empire got touched. Empire got touched, like then that probably had never happened. That probably was the first real attack of the rebellion, like first for real one that they've ever gotten accomplished, where they actually were able to touch the Empire, because that news spread by wildfire to the point where that was it ISB. ISB got together like, hey man, call your families. Yeah. Y'all not gonna be at home tonight. Cancel Christmas because we on lockdown. We about to institute our planetary protocols, whatever it is, which means they about to go lock down on these other planets. They probably about to they about to wipe out the Aldanis. They about to wipe them out. Those people that was trying to
they ain't taking no chances with them. Yeah.
Because one thing I didn't point out is that you had that whole Dani culture that was there. They made that pilgrimage up to the point so they can see this spectacle we see in our background.
It was a great scene in there where they were talking about that, right? Where they were like talking about how the numbers dwindled down.
Yeah.
This is like, you know what this is like, man? This is very much like a book. This is stuff you would normally get if you ever read a Star Wars book. This is the stuff you get in books. That little conversation right there, man, where he talk about how they set up little posts along the way, which I'm pretty sure is based off some real shit. Like they probably that's really how they
colonizers. That's colonizers.
Yeah, like that's some shit you do to little indigenous tribes like that, right?
Yep.
Local tribes and stuff like. Yeah. But he was saying that they would set up, and maybe I thought I heard that right, where they would set up like little shops or taverns or whatever, basically to distract them. Like, so along the way, more and more people drift off because they go into these little taverns or whatever. And by the time, you know what I mean, he said it start off as 4,000. Now we only got 50 or something like that. So it's like
we give them things they don't want, so they don't notice we taking away the things that they do.
I thought that was powerful, man. Yeah. So that was a dope little scene, man. Normally, bro,
I saw somebody say
you get that in a book.
They were saying that, my bad, I didn't mean to cut you.
No, go ahead.
I was saying they were saying, to your point, they were saying that the stuff that they're putting in this show, stuff like that, is usually what you read in the legends and the things that they I won't call it. They probably became legends, but like some of the books, because I guess the books were canon until they said they weren't, and they became
these
legends.
Conversations.
That's the kind of stuff that's been in that.
Yeah,
more of the gray
stuff. Movies, they skip over these conversations. Yeah,
yeah.
That scene right there wouldn't be in the movie.
Yeah,
that would be like you would. That's something you use to flesh out the universe. This. They fleshing everything out. Again, bro, it's amazing how they've been able to do this. And I think the way they've been able to do it is they've saved these set pieces. They've saved these big action scenes for certain, like this was the episode where they gave you that. But for the most part, we're not focusing on Jedi. You know, there's no Jedi, there's no aliens, there's not a lot of there's no space battles, there's no dogfights in space. This is on the ground.
It's all about the
conversations with people face to face.
Yeah.
I thought, but that part was interesting, man. How he broke that down. Like, man, this is how we're going to get rid of these people.
And it was like, and it lets you know, like, in the insides of the Empire, but like more than just a mustache twirling way.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. It's like, no, this is what we do. You think we come in and drop a bunch of stormtroopers and we just wipe out everybody? No, we decimate it. We come in here, they have something we want, right? They have either ore, they got some kind of ore, they got some spice, they got something that we want that we can use to go do this, right? We just come in and we have a presence, and then we do this. And then we slow walk it. We don't have to do that. We don't have to come in and have a war and everything we do, because that's never with any other, not to make this that kind of conversation, but anything that you have saw, like when they really started like taking people the different lands that they did it that way. They didn't come in as like a bunch of boys they used to, but you lose a bunch of people when you do that. They come
and they got to be forced to that point, like they were with the Mandalorians. Mandalorians wasn't going for that, bro. They knew what was up. They was like, hey man, y'all ain't take nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, we ain't. All right, bomb y'all, bro.
That's what we gonna do.
We need that. Damn, what's the name of the armor?
Beskar.
Yeah, we need that Beskar, man.
Beskar.
So it's like, we need that Beskar. They knew the Mandalorians wasn't going to just give them the Beskar. Mandalorians been fighting. They done fought the damn Jedi, bro. It's in their history.
Yeah.
They've been fighting their whole life, man. They a warrior. They a warrior planet and shit. Like, that's what they do, bro. They fight for, they get other people hire them to fight wars for them. They mercenaries. Yeah. So you come in there like, and try to pull the shit you pull with the Aldani. Mandalorians was like, nah, bro. Nah, we gonna fight to the end. All right, we bombing y'all.
We can do it.
Get the Night of 1,000 Tears and all this stuff.
Empire can do it both ways.
But that's dope, man. And
it's great to see that insight in this.
Again, bro, and I brought this up. I think I text you on this, but this is the Empire. George Lucas got George Lucas uses Nazis a lot, right? He used them in Indiana Jones. He used them in Star Wars, bro. So the Empire is based off the Nazi Germany, and these are the type of things I'm pretty sure they used to do, man. You know, when they came into like different countries, Czechoslovakia, France, and all that stuff. I'm pretty sure. And then
100%.
Yeah, and you brought it up, man. All these countries do this stuff. Yeah. Russia, you know what I mean? They got little tribes and stuff. Yeah, Russia huge, bro. They had little I think it was the country Dagestan. How they talked about how they had to fight them for years, man. It's like a little country, you know. And you know, they eventually like appeased them to the point where, you know, I'm not going, you know what I mean, don't quote me on that. But basically now Russia is like they under control now. But this happens, man. This is not just, you know what I mean? It's not happenstance that they threw this story in there, man. This is based off something.
Yeah. And it's dope to see, like I say, just dope to see that when you're looking at that the Empire gotta regroup at the end of the, you know, like they gotta regroup to handle an escalation at the end of the night. They have to they got these type of soldiers, they gotta do this. But it ain't all about Sith energy. It ain't all about, probably the least of the Empire was really about Sith. It was really about that infrastructure that they had. Yeah. That they can come in and it's going, my bad, I didn't mean to cut you, but we can have it where we set up. They knew like, oh yeah, it was 4,000. Now it's 60. And pretty soon, and then they'll still need some of them, like just keep them because it'd be cheaper labor for doing other things, right? That they setting up like this. We got this cool. This is cool. This is easy. That's probably why really Sting would just happen. Like this one, this no way. This land, I can understand if we were still in the early phases of other lands, but here it should have never happened.
And it's probably not even to the point where it's gotten to the Emperor yet, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of shit I don't think got to the Emperor. Like I think that was like a thing in the books. Like he didn't hear about everything. Like they probably like just the same way, like we've seen already how there's this idea of like, all right, man, hey, listen, don't bring attention to this. You know what I mean? Don't bring this up. Like let's try to put this fire out. They're getting to this is probably like you said, this is the first real attack. This one's probably not gonna get through to the 80 million credits. Emperor ain't caring about that shit, man. Emperor somewhere, man. Like Tarkin will probably hear about this shit. You know, Krennic and them, they gonna hear about this shit. But whoever the Grand Admiral is, they'll hear about it. But yeah, this shit ain't gonna get to the Emperor. You know, he probably just like,
yeah, they hope they ain't gotta go tell them.
He off doing Sith activity. He just like,
yeah, he got Vader jumping through hoops right now. Testing out that.
What'd you say? 80 million. You know what I mean? Like bro, don't come here.
He got candles on the side,
like yeah, that shit.
He over there getting Dookie and all them. Now Dookie already dead, but yeah, he got Vader jumping through hoops right now.
Yeah, bro, he got
different things that they really dealing with right now. But yeah,
but that's just dope. I hope they do hint towards that. Like, hey, we're gonna tell the Emperor about this. You know, I would love a scene where they just mention the Emperor, like the Emperor about this.
Yeah, because even like the main dude in the ISB with the, you know what I mean, with the hair or whatever, the older dude, like he has to have a report, right? Like,
yeah,
you're gonna try to take care of this now, but like who's your man's that you gotta provide this information to? Like you say, from an Easter egg. I just like it from an Easter egg standpoint. I don't need that person to show up yet, but like Tarkin just asked me about like, oh fuck, we really dealing with Tarkin right now.
Tarkin really does.
You know what I'm saying? Like we really dealing with Tarkin right now. Yeah. I think he's gonna be in the show. I don't think this season, but next season. But what do you think after? So this, I thought this was. I mean, easy for me to say. It was like the intensity that happened. It was well worth it. Like even when old girl, remember when she tried to jam the communications, she did it, and then she had to run back. Like how basic that was. Like they say they didn't show her sneaking and ducking and doing all this stuff. She just broke camp. Yeah. And it's like all dude got to do is turn.
Right.
And he gonna see her running.
It was intense, man.
I'm like, man, she just broke camp. No mind tricks, no throw something over here, make you look goofy and all that. She just ran. That was right before she had to do the jump, and she was nervous. I believe that's when it happened. But
the moment where before the two black dudes got shot, that was a great moment, man. My bad, I didn't mean to cut you, but that was a great moment where the other dude come in there like, hey man, everything all right? You know, and he's like, man, all right, hey man, I told you, like, hey, Lieutenant, I'm the lieutenant, I'm your superior, bro. Go get out of here. Like this is a classified drill or whatever he told him. Classified mission.
Tell him. He was like, tell him.
You know, he done took one to the. He's like, and then the dude like, ain't something ain't right. You know,
but ain't that when dude had the heart attack? So he was like, it's a classified mission. Tell him. And he just looked over and that dude just croaked like. he just fell out, and that's when the gun started blazing.
Which I feel like they foreshadowed with his weight problems, right?
They told us that.
They told him he had
told us
that
even early. They all
he blamed the belt, like you said, like he blamed the belt. You know what I mean? He trying to wrap the.
He's compressing. He's like, nah, maybe your waist is expanded.
Give up. Yeah.
Maybe your waist is expanded.
Your waist is expanded.
So he did 15 minutes of work, and next you know, his heart gave out.
I
don't think he did, but he could be dead. But
he probably did.
That was it. And next thing you know, them guns started bleeding. Wow.
Yeah, man. You know, them two guys catch bolts to the chest again, bro. So that's gonna be a lot of implications for that, because they're gonna realize, man, what was our lieutenant doing down there? Okay, now we got moles.
Who was he working with?
They
got to interview everybody. Well, we saw these 4 people we never, because you see some of them other soldiers, they was looking like, we don't know. They look different. Some new guys.
Yeah,
we never synced them before, right? So like, and then did they kill the family? Because they know they seen all their faces, but they seen Cinta face, and Cinta's still there. We even got some scenes where it's only a couple scenes that ain't happened yet that were in trailers, when she was looking at the Star Destroyer, right? So there's a scene where the Star Destroyer she's doing some work. Yeah. And there's a scene where the Star Destroyer go overhead and she looking at it. That was in the trailer. We never synced that. The only other thing that's been a trailer. The only other thing we ain't synced yet, like 2 things that happened, is I think Mon Mothma is speaking with another guy that they don't know what I'm really doing, and then we got Lutheran talking to Saul Guerra, like everything. And he's like, call it what you want. Well, it's called the war. Like, we ain't synced that yet. So that's my little. So we basically done finished 2 miniseries versions.
That's what I was about to say.
Now we're going into our third number 3.
Yeah, we're going into our third part now.
I think this is the Mothma Saul miniseries. I think Andor going to try to go to this other planet, but I don't even want to do predictions. But I think we going into because I think remember Mom was like, I got somebody that I can bring in. The whole time I'm thinking it's Bail. I think it's Saul, and I think this is where they're going to ultimately. I think this is when they're going to ultimately fall. They're going to have a falling out, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't think this little scene right here, beyond it just being a depiction of, like you say, hey, this is where the Senate is anyway, right? It's really a puppet Senate now. It's like nothing, right? Mon knows she between her family and this kind of stuff, and then she just saw Mon knowing her method ain't working, and it ain't gonna work. And she's gonna have to make a decision, right? She's gonna have to make a decision. She's gonna make an
actual difference, right?
And then she got that scene in the trailer when she was like, they look at me, when we finally get to that dinner party her husband had set up, and that was in the trailer. Now that makes sense. And she was sitting on that couch with that one guy, with the hair or whatever. And she was like, yeah, everybody's looking at me, but they don't know what I'm really doing, right? I think Saul is her man's, like her guy. Because she got to make other way. That's me. I could be totally off. But I think the guy she's talking about I don't think it's Bail. Not now. I think she's going to have to get to Bail, right? Yeah, Bail's already her guy, because they had to delete a scene in Revenge of the Sith when they first started talking about rebellion. But with this, because she ain't getting nothing accomplished right now. She had been trying to fund. She got a spot. I think we get the Mon Mothma miniseries, and that introduces Saul, and then we get the parts where we have the Empire showing how they locking down planets, probably gonna wipe out Aldani, and then what we go see on Ferrix again as Cassian tries to go back, and what we see happen on Ferrix and them locking that down and really dealing with that. I think the last one is I think the last miniseries is Luther, right? The real Luther, because I think that's when he's gonna eat it, but it's gonna be a real Lutheran final miniseries. But I think this one's where we get the Mon Mothma, like the decision she really begins to make, and she begins to see like there's other ways she's gonna have to work this with. Now, mind you, I don't know what the episode 9 like pivot moment is gonna be. Like, I don't know like what's gonna come to a head, like what's gonna happen that we need that is gonna be this big exciting thing like the episode 3 and episode 6. But that's where I think we're going. I think we're going to the Mon Mothma side of it. That's just me.
I'm with you. I think, and that's gonna be interesting, man. I definitely want to see Saul return, and I want to see more from Mon Mothma. I'm up here. I was trying to figure out in terms of when this take place. I was trying to actually match it up with Jedi Fallen Order.
What is Fallen Order, man? Because I always forget. I know it, then I forget.
It take place way before this. Fallen Order says here it took place 14 years BBY before the Battle of Yavin.
Oh,
So it's like over 10 years before Star Wars.
Oh, that's right, because Fallen Order was 5 years before Obi-Wan was non-BBY.
Yeah, yep.
And then,
so we wait.
Jedi Survivor is. Yeah. I thought Jedi Survivor was supposed to be around this time.
That's what I wonder. Like, is he running around out there somewhere? Because he had like young Saul with no hair, you know, with even.
Yeah.
I was just trying to get an idea of like
Survivor is non-BBY. That's when we thought. That's when we was like, that was a thing. Like Cal may show up. Kestis may show up because Jedi Survivor takes place and watch. Like
what I'm wondering, what I'm asking about is, it seemed like didn't Jedi fall in? Because you played through Jedi. We both played through it.
I ain't finishing.
Okay, yeah, all right. So but didn't there have rebels in it? Am I tripping? Am I misremembering?
I don't remember that.
I think it had some form of rebels. I know Saul had like a team.
Had the Wookiees. He had some rebels. Yeah, because they needed the rebels to go. Remember they found on that planet Kashyyyk.
They were sending K2SO droids out there and everything.
Yeah,
because you fight them in the game, right? But they wasn't a rebel.
Yeah. I mean, that first K2SO was a problem. Then you had to figure out their little timing. Like that first one, soak you up and all that, man. But he had rebels because they were working with Saul. Saul had rebels. Now, it depends on if we call them that, because they had the uni, or the look of rebels, and they were really. I felt like that's when we saw them when we were trying to free the Wookiees.
Yeah, I think they was just kind of like holding over from the Clone Wars at this point, because I guess not that they wasn't rebels. They definitely wasn't the Rebel Alliance. They just was kind of like they was kind of just, I don't want to say insurgents, but they were kind of just like resisting. You know what I mean? Like they were some type of
more like a resistance.
Yeah, they were like a resistance on that planet. It was Kashyyyk.
Yeah, it was Kashyyyk.
Yeah, that's a good.
So then why would they? So I guess you have to call that. What do you call Saul's people then? Because it seemed like that was his team.
He go all the way back to the Clone Wars, so it's like he's always been some type of. He's always been some part of some resistance.
Yeah, it was more of a resistance. It was that's I think it's a better way to put it. It was more of a resistance and actually being rebels. Like they're not rebels until like I guess where we at now.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to get an idea where Saul is at this point. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's close to what he is. He's closer to what he was in Rogue One than what he was in Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
You know, obviously
you got Rebel Saul.
Saul's a rebel. He's just a rebel. I mean, he's always been a rebel. He was a rebel even in the Clone Wars. He was a rebel. In Jedi Fallen Order, he was a rebel. But that's interesting.
Because I don't think we're gonna see, just based on how much Rebels the cartoon actually means. Because we had Saul in there, but then Saul was like, that's where him and Mon, like we find out they had a falling out. But something has to happen for them to fall out, right? He's an extremist. She don't like his ways, right? But I believe she goes to work with him in the beginning, right? That's probably why Luthen goes to talk to him, because she says, that's my guy. I'm bringing somebody in, and then he goes and Lutheran goes and meets Saul. That's when they had that meeting that was in the trail.
I bet. I'm with you then. I'm definitely with you, because on the I think Andor, I mean, I can't really think of another way, but he gonna have to we're gonna see, they're gonna focus more on her story and Saul. I think Andor is gonna take a slight
backseat.
Yeah, backseat too, because he don't meet Saul until Rogue One.
Yeah, I felt like he never met him. I felt like when we saw Rogue One, he knew about him.
He is,
but he never, because he got locked up.
Yeah, so it's not like they know it. They're not acquainted. So they're about 5 years away from really, well, not even 5. Yeah, about 5 years away from really meeting, because that's when they finally they get the plans for the Death Star and all that. That's when Saul get blasted.
He basically is a shell. So more than likely next year is when we see what happens, or next season when we see ultimately what something happens to him that leads him to be basically more man than machine, more machine than man per version of himself.
Dude, they can't breathe.
Yeah, all that happens. But he gonna be like, we get to, and I hope with this show. Oh, you about to show something? I hope with this show, and I hope when he bring him in, we get to see still Saul in his essence, meaning like everything else has shown that we like he don't worry about civilians. We do his thing. But I think he gonna
be worse than Andor and shit.
That may be what the third miniseries finale be.
Yeah,
it's seeing Saul do his work. I mean, this is so dope that we not. I like this angle that we as the audience, we like. Yeah, we know good guy, bad guy. We don't know that yet. I don't Empire. Like I know the Empire's a bad guy because I know the Empire's a bad guy, but I don't know it from this show. Not yet. I know we gonna get there.
Right.
I feel like
the show is the show don't,
not yet.
Right. The show is not. It's not that clear. It's not that black and white. Right.
It's gray as hell. This little ragtag bunch got bodies. They went in and robbed somebody. They went in and held hostages. Had kids at gunpoint. The rebels did that.
This is and this enhances it because now you asking instead of you starting to wonder now like okay these guys won this war eventually, right? And they score significant victory because it's a long war, man. It's 3 movies. I mean it's the trilogy. This is just the beginning of that. They had to get all the way to the point where they were able to get the plans for the first Death Star. Like the Death Star by all measures should have been in game, right? Like should have been like checkmate. You know what I mean? And the Empire. I mean, because I'm pretty sure that who knows? Because now we looking at it like shit. I mean, I'm pretty sure 5 years away. The Death Star already like in some type of production, right? Like it's some type of skeleton getting made right now. The Death Star.
We saw like half of it at the end of Revenge of Sith.
Yeah. So we saw that.
That was 20. That was 15 years.
You know what? It's already there. Yeah, it's
they probably at the point now.
Yeah,
they probably at the point now where they trying to figure out, and they need Urso, where they really need Urso, or they, at some point they needed Urso, trying to figure out how to really, really weaponize. Where they get to the point where that crystal really, really matters, right?
Let's talk about that. We gonna see the Death Star.
So we probably never got it. Damn, I didn't even think about that either.
We see
because this is all about the Death Star. It's not gonna be to the Death Star, right?
Yeah, it's not gonna be operational, but we're gonna see that Death Star.
Yeah, and what they probably needed to figure out was what makes this thing for real. Like we maybe thought we could just make it a laser like we do with the weapons we got, but now we need something to really, really power it to do what it need to do. And they didn't have it figured out until they knew it worked when it smoked Saul's planet. Started with the D,
Jedha.
Right? Jedha. Pause and starting with a D. Jedha. When they smoked Jedha. That was the first time they used it, and it worked. Right.
Hold on, bro. We gotta do some digging here, bro. Wait a minute, real quick, because now I'm curious. Where the hell is the Death Star? I mean, not that we gonna find out
what planet system it was located.
I just want to know.
Is that what you asking?
That and I will ask that. I also want to know. I want to place the time, like where. Okay, because you brought up a good point. You said Urso. They had to find Urso. That's what I want to know. Where's Urso right now?
He's in probably Coruscant, right?
So Urso worked,
or he's in Coruscant, or he's on the Death Star.
Because remember, all right, so we 5 years away from Rogue One, basically. Yeah. So he already done got kidnapped, wife done got shot. Obviously,
that probably was like 10 years ago.
His daughter, that was 10 years ago. His daughter had been out there. She running around. She a criminal.
Before that, because she was in her 20s. She was like 20 or something. She was probably like 9 or 10. So let's just say 10 years ago. Let's say 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Let's say 10 years ago.
Nah, probably longer than that. You had a young Saul.
This is probably end of. You think it might be end of like. This is at least after. I think it's at least after Order 66.
Now I'm like, hold on. Now
in terms of when they came and got him from his daughter.
Okay,
they were already building the Death Star because we saw the end of Revenge of the Sith. It was half made, right?
Yeah, it's not even their plan, right? The Genosians had already built it. They had the plans for the Death Star.
They already had it. We seen that, right? We probably seen that in what movie did we see that in? Oh, the plan was the Revenge of the Sith, right?
Revenge of the Sith.
We saw the plans in one of the last two.
It was Revenge of the Sith. So, what was it?
I think it was an earlier movie where we actually saw
Clone Wars, right? Or
it might be Clone. And then between that 10 years from the plans, because Dooku was there,
right?
Dooku, and they had all the people at the table. Golly, they had all the people at the table, the Separatists at the table, and Dooku was like whatever his line was or whatever. Awesome character, had all his lines. Yeah. So then
Tales of the Jedi,
they had the plan. So they had 10 years to get to the point that they were from Attack of the Clones, right, until we get to the Revenge of the Sith, where at the end we see Vader standing next to the Palpatine, and they have a structure of have at least a skeleton of maybe like 30%, just from a body standpoint, ready. We know it's a Death Star.
Yeah.
Then they need Urson back, right? And maybe Urson left. Galen might have left when he knew like, oh, this is the Empire now. This is not a like right when the Sith became what it was, not the Sith, but when the Empire did Order 66 and they became what they was, I would imagine that's when Galen left. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to go into hiding because this ain't what I signed up. He bounced kind of like Tala did in Obi show when she was like, I found out what they were doing, and that's when, you know, once I found out what it really was, whoop-de whoop, he probably bounced. So that would line up, I would think. Wow. And then 10 years from that, so we talking, so that maybe 15, maybe like 15 years.
Yeah. Okay. So
that would make 15 to where we at now, 15 years after Order 66.
That's very interesting, bro. Seriously, because I've never thought about that. The idea that was the Death Star always constructed to be this planet killer? Because you're right. Because the way they make it in the movie, they make it like Urso's the one that came in and was like, "We're gonna make this thing blow up planets." I mean, I think or was it just even if you steal those plans the way they did, and that's almost like a concept at this point, right? Like that little hollow figure they had of it or whatever. I guess that's like the concept of the Death Star. So it's like a planet killer. I'm getting all over the place here, man. Because
you bring up a great topic, man.
Because hold on, bro. Think about this for a minute. Think about this. Yo, man, they didn't come up with the Death Star. Are you telling me the Separatists almost had a Death Star, bro?
The Genosians.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine what the Separatists would have did with a Death Star, bro?
Oh,
yeah, that decides the Clone Wars, right? Like that changes the entire Clone Wars. Like, yo, bro, if they pull out if they had the Death Star. And it's fully, and if they probably could have did it. Now I'm going way into the nebulous here, but they probably could have put together the Death Star faster than the Empire did because they had droid.
Yeah.
They had a droid army and they had droid workers. Like they were all about like droid labor, right?
Yeah.
But that's just I don't know. That's just like I guess that's like fanfic's point. But I'm just kind of throwing that out there. But with that said, yeah, I would. So the Death Star, the Death Star's out there. You're right. This is what this is about.
The DS-1 orbital battle station, Galen Erso. We call it the Death Star. There is no better name, and the day is coming soon when it will be unleashed. But at this time, the Death Star, I would imagine, it's out there. I would imagine it's probably almost built right now, or it's built, but no, they just could not synthesize something that would be an appropriate resource to make that laser for real what it need to be, right?
Right.
Super laser.
Yeah, you just brought it back. You brought me back. Yeah, I got to. Yeah, you're right. I done got carried away. It was the goddamn. You're right. You said it before. It was the Kyber crystals. That's right.
Kyber crystals.
That was what's so. Yeah, it was finding. Yeah, it was finding the right crystal. No, they had it right. Like they had the idea again. I didn't want to. It's me being protective of the ultimately, really, it's me being protective of the sequel, the prequels, right? So I'm like, man, did Disney try to retcon some shit? But no, they had the concept that they didn't create. They didn't create, it wasn't Urso, but Urso figured out, hey man, if y'all want this thing to be able to destroy planets, we need Kyber crystals for this laser. A laser of that size, you would need Kyber crystals. That makes sense. Whereas the Genosians probably would have, they would have figured out a way, but it would have.
Yeah.
That's dope, though. That's dope.
I think that's what happened. I think they already had it, and they had to go get him. And then the first time they used it was on Jeddah City. Now, something happened between the time they used it on Jeddah City to the next one where they figured that they can blow up an entire planet.
Now this is hold on. Let me pull this up. Let me share this. This is from StarWars.com, which kind of I guess explains what we talking about with the Genosians here. Hold on. It says so we got 8 things
to learn.
Yoda. Learn you still have 8 things you might not know about Genosians. All right. Number 1 on the list, they didn't quite, or they couldn't get the Death Star quite right. In Rogue One, when director Orson Krennic approaches Orso for assistance with the Death Star, there's no blatant mention of the Genosians. However, if you've given James Luceno's Catalyst read, am I reading that right? If you've given James Luceno's Catalyst a read, okay, you're privy to some extra details about the weapons. Now this is Disney canon, right? Extra details about the weapons constructions. Apparently, the airborne aliens were responsible for designing the Death Stars, but they didn't account for how it actually fired. You called this, bro. when the Battle of Geonosis erupted, they hadn't quite gotten it right just yet due to their incompetence. I don't like.
Yeah, I don't play it.
I don't like
that.
that. I don't like that idea.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what do you?
Yeah.
They're not incompetent, but due to their incompetence, like who wrote this? Like it's like somebody wrote this in character. Due to their incompetence, Krennic called upon Galen Orso to figure out the last piece: how to get enough power to fire a weapon of that magnitude. Urso joined the initiative with his
God dang it, we figured that out.
I know we just figured this out, and the rest is history. Without reading this book here,
and maybe they get a little bill because maybe in the book they actually Krennic called and say they got incompetence. They taking it right from the book. But like you say, that sounds
due to their incompetence, which is kind of like,
that's
bro, you kind of
it's a BS
because they're not incompetent because they came up with the like. What I didn't want is I don't want them to retcon. I want to believe that the Geonosians came up with the Death Star, like because why? Because George Lucas put it in Attack of the Clones, and I feel like anything other than that, I feel like you kind of undermining the prequels.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do that, which they're not. So but it kind of just says magnitude. Erno joined the initiative as knowledge of crystals, and the rest is history. Maybe things would, this is in character, would have turned out a bit differently if the Geonosians actually designed a weapon to shut the.
But it's the part that man.
But it's in character.
But that's probably what it is, and it's the part that makes that kind of like it has to be in character because they weren't finished with it, right? So how do we know they couldn't find something to make it fire right? They weren't finished with it. Like they were building it, but they weren't finished. It was 30% done at the end of Revenge of the Sith. Like they had a war they started fighting right after that. Right, as soon as you saw them plans, the fight happened.
That's true.
They kind of had a 10-year war. That was happening.
A war, bro. They broke out in a war. Hey man, they were in a
had time to get the Jeddah to go ahead and mine.
They were. Hey man, this started off as a trade disagreement. Like, hey, this was just kind of like, hey, we don't really like the way, we feel like y'all getting in the way of our money. Then they broke out into a full out war. You're right. So this isn't really.
We had other things going on, right?
We had a lot, man. We had
to make our scientists build. You think if we couldn't build the Death Star, we wouldn't have won the Clone Wars? But we ain't had time because we was fighting. Like we had to build weapons and things, man. Y'all had a million clones and Jedis.
And the Jedi, right? And the power, the full might of the Jedi
Council, man. Like,
man, every Jedi with a lightsaber out there, man. We got to fight against the Force too.
Hey, man, pardon me if I couldn't synthesize kyber crystals at that time.
Crystals, right?
They was coming from my neck.
Like this last part, and the rest, maybe things would have turned out a bit differently if the Geonosians actually designed a weapon to properly function. Like that don't even make sense in the previous statements you just made, though.
Yeah, because the
point of the matter is they came up with the concept. Like
y'all stole the plans.
Yeah,
what they say how it is. What they say the winners, victors get the victors. The history is told by the victors, right?
There so it
that's in character. That the victor is telling that story, right? Because it's like it wasn't even done at the time, right? It was like they was never at that point where they can fight. If they was never at that point where they can even test it. Whatever kind of side testing they have and shooting things. Yeah, that's what we get to see what it would look like. It was damn, that's dope. God, that's dope. That was their plan. They just wasn't in the position to go ahead and make it happen. They just had a plan.
They couldn't account.
Then they fought for 10 years against 1 million or however many damn clones there were, and the Jedi Council. Whole Jedi Order.
Krennic, bro. This just adds so much, to Krennic. Like, this just made Krennic way more important, bro, than he was in the movie. Like, damn, Krennic had to come up with that, bro. Like, Krennic had to figure that out, man. Like Tarkin, hey, man, you done with that yet? The Death Star. I ain't forget about that. Yeah, we took that from the Geonosians.
Man, that's why they had to he was so salty, man. When they blasted Jeddah, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna tell them it was mine. Hey man, Krennic was he was ready to kill he was ready to kill Tarkin. My man's when Tarkin when he said that
yeah man.
I think he even didn't he roll up on Vader?
Bro, he was so pissed. He was so pissed. He flew to Vader, bro, and interrupted Vader's Vader was in a Bacta tank, bro.
He rolled up on Vader.
He was taking a full-on Bacta bath, and he disturbed that, man. He made Vader pull on his clothes and everything, man. He had to come out, man. And then he bugging him. He I mean, I'm good, right? And what'd he say? I'm good, right? And he Vader turned back around with the making jokes and shit. Don't choke on your aspirations. What do you say? Don't choke on your Man, you don't get your ass out of my lair, bro.
Yeah.
Come up here though.
Vader did have a lair. You don't get your ass out of my lair. Yeah, that's why he was salty,
right
man.
Now.
Hey man, he done killed somebody's wife. They've been working on that for a long time. So it's all about when he came back and got Krennic. That's what the timeline is. But to this point about your story, like, I never thought about like that. Like the real talk, like even when I seen it in Attack of the Clones, right? Well, I say like, oh, that's where the plans are, but I didn't never put in my mind, like, no, the Genosians made that whole clan made that. That was their plan.
Yeah, the Empire just figured out how to the last part, which was how can this thing fire, but nobody conceived the Death Star from the Empire.
Yeah, that was Empire's. That wasn't, and before it was the Empire, what was the Galactic Republic? None of them had that figured out. Probably wasn't even a concept until those Genosians and that whole separatist community was sitting there like, look, this is how we want to keep. We want to keep our trade roots. We want to keep that. This is what we do.
Hey man, the Genosians was dope, bro.
Yeah, this is what
Come on, man. Y'all gotta get. That's what I'm saying, bro. Look at all.
Did the Genosians correct the clones too? What was the planet for the clones? I don't know why. I know it's not the Genosians. It's another planet.
No, that was Now you got.
I was going to say Geonosis, but I know it's not.
These are the Geonosians, right? So
it's the I need to do that before I get off.
Where's the clone planet at? Shit.
I want to do it without having to look it up, but it's not going to happen. Word to Camino.
Oh my God! How did I not say Camino, bro?
Yeah,
I'm sitting there talking about Attack of the Clones. How did I? Like my favorite it ain't the best prequel movies, probably the worst, but that's my favorite. Like it's one of my favorite prequels that invented it. But damn, yeah, Camino was the planet. So
hey man, I be sunning the Attack of the Clones. But when you just add that part about the Caminos, but you add that part about the Death Star, and then what they was really doing, and you kind of like it's like how dope that the Clone Wars makes the prequel movies again, like because you get to fill in a lot of blanks, right?
Yeah.
And then it's always things that you can add in, like, hold on, when you was watching that, it was because of this, or this was because of that, and this, and you can go back and see it. Just this conversation alone makes me want to watch Attack of the Clones.
I'm about to watch it.
I'm gonna have to watch it. It's getting warm. It's like I have to watch it. I want to ingest that again. Like when you think, because I didn't even think about it like that, bro. And I don't want to keep over slurping Andor, right? Because it could fall off the ledge. But all this is about the Death Star.
Yeah.
This ain't even about Return of the Jedi. This ain't even about Force Awakens. It ain't about the Mandalorians. It don't got nothing to do with all that. They doing all this just to get the plans at a chance. Because you got to think about it. When Cassian and Jen were sitting there hugged up about to be out, they don't know that message got up there.
Nah, they don't.
So when they passed away, they don't know that happened.
They don't know. They
don't know that happened.
Yeah, you're right, man.
They don't know that happened. It was just at a chance when they was climbing up and everything. So not only for me is it not going to make that movie better, right? And I already really enjoyed that movie. It's going to be like how I think these TV shows could be. These TV shows should always lead up to a movie. Like if you have a franchise, right? It feels like what you do. Now, Star Wars does it backwards. They make the movies and then 5 years later, 10 years later, they make shows about that lead up to the movie, but to each his own. They do it. Yeah. But this may make some earlier things better. Like I never thought about that part about like Genosians. What does this play really with? Like, do we even think about Galen, even Urso? Like, do we see, we know where he at right now, right? We know where he at right now, but like is he laying the groundwork? Next season, are we gonna see him show up and lay that groundwork where he got to meet the guy to tell that delivery driver, tell that stormtrooper who want to defect or whatever he was that, hey man, you got to go meet Saul, right? You got to go do this. And how was he planning that? How was he setting that up? Like not even thinking things thought I cared about. But this may bring things back. Like, wow, how does this really this even got some ties to in some way, shape, or form of clones, Attack of the Clones, where I didn't even really think about it like that. And it may be just like our little thing that we just did. Like, it may not have been nothing Tony was doing, but like, no, the Death Star was like a concept.
Yeah, it was a concept, bro.
Like, so do I need to watch Attack of the Clones again? It's like, hold on, let me like look really deep and like, what are the Genosians saying? Like, even before they hit the thing, like I don't even remember the conversation. I know it was all subtext.
Think about it, man. He had given the hold on, shut the camera and shit. I do this all the time, but remember, he was handing them plans to like it was when you look at it, it's full circle. It's like it always was gonna end up with
poetry. Right?
Here we go again. Right?
Here we go again.
He's playing both sides, so he was always gonna get it. But it's like, damn, like he was gonna give that to Dooku. Like, hey man, they was trying to win the war. Like, we can't build this right now, but just in case, hey, take this. But yeah, that's just kind of like. You just think about how important the Death Star is. You're right, man. It's about this Death Star, bro, and it's about that's their checkmate, man. That's what they get pushed to that limit to where they like, all right, you know what? Get that thing operational, man, because these rebels coming. These rebels on our ass at the end of the day. So it's like, hey, get the Death Star operational.
Oh, so they may inadvertently speed up that process.
I think so.
Oh,
because they pushing them to that point, bro. They like, wait a minute. Because think about it. For 20 years, they killed all the Jedi. You done, like, all the shit Saul was doing, you pretty much, remember, Saul's not in his prime no more. He's not where he was at in Clone Wars, Rebels, or Fallen. Before that, but I'm just saying, like, he's not like in his prime. Like, he's not as big as a threat as he was when he had the shaved head. He ain't causing that many problems, like to the point where he like. So they really went like almost 20 years now with no real resistance. Now you get to a point like, man, y'all robbed 80 million credits. That's just the beginning. It's gonna be more attacks, obviously, and then you got all these like moles on the inside. You got these people helping these rebels. You got the sentiment of the rebellion growing with people who got money and influence, like the Organas and Mata and all that. So the idea of the rebellion is growing. It's gonna start growing now to the point where it's like, all right, because he do remember New Hope. He like, all right, no more Senate. Enough of this puppet show. You know what I mean? Let's do away with that. Everything go through me. I'm the emperor. And it's like, shit, but the plans is out there though. You know what I mean? Like, but just going back to Andor, I know I'm all over the place. Going back to Andor,
man.
we just we push you to that point now where it's like, man, all these little attacks over the next 5 years is like, what else? All right, we got to start putting planets back under our thumb. I mean, how do we do that? All right, man, we got a planet killer. We can blow up your entire planet from orbit. And they probably
damn near like a nuclear bomb kind of
stuff. It is, right.
Doing all this stuff
diplomatically. That's what he does. Yeah, that's how you get him at the end. He like,
we just go ahead and drop this.
It basically look.
Our plan is to make y'all like give up. It's over.
Yeah, I remember we talked about it at the beginning of the segment. Was you right? You're absolutely right. They want to do stuff with this less blush. Like, you think about you said atomic bombs. How much you do the atomic bomb, or you do a war where I lose millions, civilians die, soldiers die, a lot of people die, or I hit you with the Death Star. Boom. Y'all really want to go to war?
Yeah, I got this. You ain't got that.
I got this, and I got clips. I can hit you again. In any plausible situation, you wave the white flag.
Yeah.
Right? Like, even there's no Jedi. There's no Force. Or there's Force, but there's no Jedi. So it's not like they got an army of Jedi and that's led by some Jedi, and it's like, bro.
They don't have a deterrent.
And the Jedi ain't been around for years, decades. So now so all these people are thinking like practical. They're just like, I don't have a gun that big. I don't have I don't have ships that big. I don't have enough. All my ships don't matter. I'm waving a white flag. Come on, man. What's the terms of surrender? Hey man, just let me. You know what I mean? Like,
it's a great way to look at it, because like I really do think there's going to be some extremist stuff that happens either in this.
Has to be
either in this. I would bet that there's another big thing that the Rebels do next, and then we end the season while something big that the Empire does. Right? That's how it works. So it can go vice versa. But I think we're gonna have a big thing, and then there's something big that they do. Right? That's really a thing. Like we just shaking our faith through his core, but being in the Rebel Alliance, but indirectly the resistance that beyond just even robbing them, like I think they may attack some, like they may catch some bodies for real with the catch for real bodies. Like, we may be looking at people that's in that ISB that's not gonna be there. Like, the Alliance gonna take them out. Like Andor might kill the light-skinned dude. You get all the brothers killed. Light-skinned dude on Ferrix. But like, we starting to touch y'all for real, right? Like we need to, you know what? They starting to get fat, because we get into the time, like, again, I hate to always bring up Rebels, but they have factions out now. If you watch season 1, their pockets, they got Fulcrum. So Katana pulling string. They got factions and stuff that the Empire now is now knows.
Yeah,
so I don't know how much they time, because all these people are factions in different areas. They don't know if I got people here, I got people there. Rebel Alliance might not know that, but you saw old girl know that. Deidre know that when she was like, they doing this over here, they doing this over there. She's seeing different things, right? So that like now it's increasing. What they're doing is just making the Empire build up their arsenal stronger, get the stormtroopers together, but rushing the process of getting this Death Star ready by the little things that they're doing. Now I got me wondering, when I watch Rebels, did they even talk about the Death Star? I don't even remember.
I gotta get my timelines together. Okay, so damn, man. So Rebels is taking place at the exact same time as this.
This is the same timeline, bro. It's the same timeline.
That is wild, man. Ezra out there right now meeting these dudes.
When they pick him up from Lothal. When they pick him up from Lothal.
Wow, man. They gotta be a crossover. They have to. It has to be some Easter egg or some cameo or something with these and you know they cast the Mandalorian girl. Sabine Wren. Yeah. So
well, like my point is, so that means Kanan and all them out there now. But my point is, even if they don't, right? My point is the Empire know that.
Yeah, the Empire,
Passy and them might not know that, and they probably never know that there's other people. Mothma gonna find out, but she don't find out until they come and get her, right? Until they come and save her. But my point is the Empire know, because they attacking the Empire in different ways, right? In different ways, whether it's all the little journeys of the week that they have on the show. When you take the sum totals, that, to your point, they're strapping the Empire up. Like Empire, they getting locked and loaded
in a 5-year period.
Fix this up. Get that together. We gon' fight it on this front, but y'all get that damn planet killer together.
Yeah,
we gonna need that, because these people might be a problem. We gotta end this.
Yeah,
there's
that's how we end this.
Yeah, like you said, but Tarkin say how will they gain support in the Galactic Senate? And he's like, man, come on, Emperor, cut all that shit.
Yeah, man,
Emperor cut that shit out. Like, no, we gonna rule them through fear. We tried this way. These people, these rebels are now they have gained people on their side. They just took the plans. So when they in that meeting, the plans have gotten taken.
The plan, all that shit in Rogue One is happening right there.
The plans.
Well, no, wait. Yeah.
The plans have already
no.
Just slashed
after
everybody.
Rogue One. Yeah, all the shit.
Right after they meet and discuss the fact that the plans
out there.
Man, they ain't gonna do nothing with our plans. Like, then my man's with the raspy voice, he with it. But at the end of the day, the plans have gotten taken right. Now we're going to go ahead and wipe somebody out. Now our next move is to wipe out a planet. We're going to let them know beyond this, in the rebellion, we wiping out planets. Wipe out Alderaan. Wipe that out, right? They gone from Dantooine. Dantooine don't matter. It's too far. Nobody notices, but Alderaan, that's prime real estate right there, right? But all this is happening now. And the fact that they're resisting, like they may have had the planet killer just as a deterrent.
Yeah.
But they wasn't in no rush to finish it.
Nah.
Until these factions of rebellion started resisting for real.
Yeah, putting pressure on them.
That's what they doing right now. Right now.
Great
and
analysis.
It's because of I ain't think about it. It's because of the rebels that this is getting sped up. That's dope, man. That's a good show.
That's a good show, bro. That's a good show. And now it just add credence to why you gotta watch this thing through, and why it's important for this story to be told. Because it's like, again, we talk about this all the time, man. I need to know why. We about to find out why, man. Why are these early years so important? And it's centered around this character Andor, but it's really about this early rebellion, this early movement. We seen the other side of two. We seen the rebel side, which was done with that team, and this is more of a wider the wider side of it, centered around this one character. I'm excited, man. I'm looking forward to this the next part of the season. I think like you said, we're moving into this arc with Mothma and Saw Gerrera. I think that's where we at.
And I had Thrawn notes.
They want a different actor.
Because your boy want to do it. Bail. I mean, he want to join Star Wars, and people been saying like he should be Thrawn. That's why his picture show. I think that's why he got his picture.
He can pull it off, man. He can pull it off.
Hey, man, Thrawn's so dope,
bro. And I don't want to be, man. Again, bro. I don't want to be that guy. I really don't. I like Thrawn and Rebels. Don't get it twisted at all. 100%. Hey, man, but the Thrawn in the books, bro.
Oh, nastier.
Way nastier. They tried to bring him back because they went and got the original writer. Matter of fact, this book right here, Timothy Zahn, bro.
Okay.
They tried to go back and they tried to go back and get this guy to write the Thrawn books, the new Thrawn books, because he the one that created Thrawn. And Thrawn was dope, bro. Thrawn like little shit, bro. Like his love for like music and shit. Like his
art.
How he would break down a battle, like, hey, I'm gonna tell you how this battle gonna turn out. He ain't have powers. I mean, he kind of did because he was a Chiss. By the way, the Chiss are like they got their own separate empire and shit. So it's like he come from them, but he got this foresight to be able to be like, all right, I'll tell you how the battle gonna turn out because I'm gonna use the analogy of a symphony. The way that this symphony got to be conducted is the way that this battle got to be conducted. Damn. And he was just break down battles and shit, and like it was, bro. Dope character, bro. Like they could have came out with they could have had a movie just off this. That's like that's Legends now, but you could have had a movie with Thrawn based off them stories. But I think, like I said, they good. But honestly, bro, they saved the concept of Thrawn. I think they preserved it enough to where they're gonna be all right, man. Once if they put Bell in there, good. I want Bell to be Bane, to be honest, Dark Bane. Yeah. But if he Thrawn, he can work as Thrawn.
Somebody else said that too. That's weird. That's great that you. I was watching something. It was like, nah, Bane. I think they would like because that was the gist of it. Like Bane is taller, but like, do we really care, right? Like, Like I think Bane is taller than what he is, but so what?
Yeah. So
we'll be all right. It's Christian Bale.
Boots on him. Yeah,
we be all right.
You can pull it off, man. He gonna pull off he gonna fill out for the role physically, no matter what. Anyway.
Yeah, we be all right. And he said he won't in. Like I'm cool with my what's the name of brother being he already the voice and the sound of saying we good.
Yeah, man. Let me get a sample of that, man, because it's been a while since I heard it. My bad, bro. I'm gonna get off.
Picture. Very well. You shall have the 7th Fleet. Thank you, Martin.
Bro, they done got everything they can out of this era, bro.
You want to talk about milking,
man?
They got a prequel to a prequel.
Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Grand Admiral?
The Emperor recently promoted me after
you goddamn right. But
yeah,
he gonna pull it off. Just do it. I'm with it.
Reclamation plant in
you see that once they get that dude in live action with that voice.
Yeah, with that.